Things don't always go as planned, right? We've all been there. In moments of failure, we often feel disappointed, frustrated, oftentimes even heartbroken. In those moments, it's so important that we focus on logical ways for reframing failure. When done right, it can help you be kinder to yourself, find a quicker way to bounce back, and even help you find some light in the darkness. I'm Dacie, and this is Dacie's Dose, where we talk all things adulting. I give advice that I think can help us all live a more fulfilling life. This adulthood is ghetto, so let's navigate this thing together. I want to share with you how I've learned to look at failure differently and how it can change your life. Failure is a natural part of life, and as a former perfectionist, I am not a big fan of failure. But honestly, no one is. Sometimes we may not live up to our expectations because we didn't understand something properly or thoroughly. Sometimes we try our hardest and just don't get the results that we're looking for. It can really pull on heartstrings and get our mind thinking negatively. The problem is those negative thoughts can have lasting effects and lead to negative thinking patterns that become your core values. It often results in self-doubt, shame spiraling, black and white thinking like everything's bad, nothing's gonna work in my favor, I'll never be good enough for this or that, or generalizing like I didn't do well this time so I'm never gonna do well, and even jumping the gun on some things, making up conclusions when the story's not over. I totally get wanting to be great and wanting to be seen as great, but greatness often requires a lot of repetition, and those first couple of reps ain't always gonna hit like you think they should, and that's okay. It's okay to be a beginner, and it's okay to be a trier. And in these moments, we really have to think about who's putting the pressure on. And oftentimes, it's ourselves. And once we know that, we just have to put that same energy into building ourselves right back up. We feel in our shame, we're feeling our disappointment, we've failed. Now we focus on switching from failing to failing forward. Everything you do that doesn't turn out the way you want isn't just failure. Failure is redirection. One of the hardest things for me to accept is that failure is a part of the growing strategy. There is no growth without failure. Knowing that, we have to give ourselves room and permission to make mistakes. In the book Daring Greatly by Brené Brown, she has a chapter about letting go and giving yourself permission to make mistakes. And I know it's worded that way because we think that it's not allowed, it can't happen, it's not a part of the strategy, but it is. Once you've reflected, you can try again. Move on to something different. The choice is up to you, but deciding that it's a part of the strategy, focus on trying your best and doing it different until you get it the way you want, is a major key to success. So after some feels and reframing our perspective, I have 2 phrases I want you to remember the next time you're feeling disappointed in your outcome. If you failed, remember, you may have failed, but you're not a failure. What happened is an individual experience and not a definition of who you are. Though you may have failed experience, you are not a failure identity. Brené Brown be coming with the gems. I think that's from The Gifts of Imperfection. And number 2, if you're going to count anything, count the number of times that you get back up. Because if the number of times you've tried exceed the number of times that you failed, you're a success, baby. Once you remember these 2 things, you can ask yourself a few questions. We take some actionable steps and reflect. Consider asking yourself, would I like to try again? Did I try hard? Not necessarily my hardest, but hard. Is it possible to have a different outcome if I try again? Do I want to try again? Why or why not? That requires you to know your what and your why. What is one thing I did right in this experience? What is something I can learn from this experience? How can I love on myself in this time of need? How can I lean on my trusted community members in this time? What negative thoughts am I having? What negative thoughts am I having about myself? And once you've written those down, challenge them. If you're telling yourself, I'll never be good at this, think about a time that you did become good at something that you weren't good at in the beginning. Or think to yourself, is that statement really true? Is it not actually possible to become better at it? And just go opinion by opinion. Challenge. What positive affirmation can I repeat to myself right now? And if you can't come up with one on your own right now, use one of the challenges from your last prompt or Google them. ChatGPT and Gemini are your friend. Moving forward, I hope that this video has helped you redefine failure in your mind and shift your perspective and actions the next time you experience a failure. And if you're in the midst of a shame spiral right now, reach one hand, the other hand, extend them, and cross them. This is my virtual hug to you. I love you. I acknowledge your efforts for feeling better, and I support you in this journey. Squeeze tight. It's all for you. If you're watching this in real time and this video has helped, comment down below and be sure to include how you're going to take care of yourself in this moment. And if you have any personal favorite quotes about failure, drop it in the comments. The more we build up our arsenal against negativity, the better. We are all rooting for you! If it was helpful in any way, I would love a thumbs up. I give mindset content all the time, so I highly suggest you subscribe and share. This has been Dacie Stells. Love you, mean it. Bye!